The Who and their 22 weeks in the marquee. Hey there, rock and roll fans. 1st of December. The festive season is upon us. And the book is on sale. -30 for the paperback. Go and check it out from Amazon. Anyway, 1st of December 1964. Almost forgot it. The Who kick off a legendary 22-week residency at the London's famed Marquee Club, the venue that practically serves as a rock and roll proving ground. The club's history is stacked with future legends: the Rolling Stones, the Yardbirds, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and Pink Floyd, to name a few. For The Who, this residency helps shape their early sound and reputation for chaos. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac, now -30 for the paperback in Amazon. See ya. David Bowie's debut single. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 2nd, 1966. A 19-year-old David Bowie takes his first swing at mainstream success with the release of Rubber Band, his debut single on Decca's Deram label. A far cry from his later rock personas, the track is a quirky baroque pop tune that he recorded as part of an audition package to secure his record deal. It doesn't make much of a splash, but Bowie is just getting started. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac, and now 30% off on the paperback for the first 2 weeks of December. And while we're at it, this was the 120th video that I've done for the series, and there's still over 2,600 of these stories in the book. Another reason for you to check it out from Amazon. Perhaps as a gift for a loved one. See ya. Deep Purple arrive in Switzerland. And the story doesn't end there. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 3rd, 1971. Deep Purple arrive in Montreux. Really, I'm not sure how it is supposed to be pronounced. Switzerland. Ready to record their Machine Head album at the Montreux Casino. Then everything goes up in flames. Literally. The next day, a fan at a Frank Zappa concert fires a flare gun inside the venue, setting the place ablaze. Forced to improvise, Deep Purple end up recording in a hotel, using the Rolling Stones mobile studio. The whole chaotic saga is immortalized in their classic song, Smoke on the Water. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Paperback, now -30% in Amazon stores for the first 2 weeks of December. Hanoi Rocks' final show. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 4th, 1984. Hanoi Rocks takes the stage at Detroit's Trax Club for what unknowingly becomes their final show with their drummer Razzle. The band had already scrapped several dates due to singer Michael Monroe's injury, but the tragedy that follows just days later, Razzle's untimely passing away in a car crash involving Motley Crue's Vince Neil, brings the tour to an abrupt and heartbreaking end. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac, now -30 for the paperback in Amazon. See ya. The meeting that starts the journey of The Police. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 5th, 1976. Music journalist Phil Sutcliffe takes drummer Stuart Copeland, then playing with Curved Air, to see a local Newcastle band called Last Exit. There he introduces Copeland to the bass player, a school teacher turned musician named Sting. Within months, they formed The Police, setting the stage for one of the biggest bands in the late 70s and 80s. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The paperback now minus 30% in Amazon store for the 2 first weeks of December. The Eagles played together again for the first time since the 80s. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 6th, 1993. What starts as a casual video shoot turns into one of rock's biggest reunions. While filming a Travis Tritt cover of Take It Easy, the Eagles, who hadn't played together since the 80s, find themselves jamming and, well, taking it easy with each other. Their longtime manager, Irving Azoff, had never given up on the idea of a comeback, but it took Tritt's demand that all the Eagles appear in the video to make it happen. The result? The legendary Hell Freezes Over tour, an album in 1994, proving that sometimes the past isn't so hard to revisit after all. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still, the paperback is minus 30% for the first 2 weeks of December in Amazon store. Go check it out. The Rolling Stones' new bass player. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 7th, 1962. The Rolling Stones hold bass player auditions at Chelsea Pub and settle on Bill Wyman, not because of his talent, but because he owns a great amp. Wyman, however, neglects to mention one little detail. He is already a married man with a young son. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still on sale until December 14th. Check out the paperback from Amazon. Eagles release Hotel California. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 8th, 1976. The Eagles unleash Hotel California, their 5th studio album and first featuring guitar slinger Joe Walsh. With 2 #1 singles, Hotel California and New Kid in Town, and an 8-week reign at the Billboard 200, the album becomes their best-selling release and one of the highest-selling albums in history. Whether it's a metaphor for the excesses of the music industry or just a haunting tale of hedonism gone wrong, Hotel California cements its place as a rock masterpiece. Couldn't agree more. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still on sale on Amazon. Paperback minus 30% until December 14th. Check it out. Bruce Springsteen on John Lennon's murder. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 9th, 1980. That's 45 years ago today. The world is still in shock over John Lennon's murder the night before, and his music floods the airwaves in tribute. At a concert in Philadelphia, Bruce Springsteen opens the show with heavy words. It's hard to come out here and play tonight, but there's nothing else to do. His sentiment echoes worldwide as fans and musicians alike mourn the loss of a legend. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still on sale, paperback minus 30% in Amazon store until December 14th. Check it out. The first night, the CBGB is open. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 10th, 1973. CBGB opens its doors in Manhattan's East Village, unknowingly setting the stage for one of the most influential punk and new wave movements of all time. Soon, the Ramones, Blondie, Talking Heads, Television, and Patti Smith would call the tiny, grimy venue home, forever cementing its place in rock and roll history. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still on sale, paperback minus 30% in Amazon store. Check it out. Jerry Lee Lewis marries his 13-year-old cousin. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 11th, 1957. In one of the most infamous celebrity scandals of all time, Jerry Lee Lewis marries 13-year-old Myra Gale Brown, his cousin's daughter and the child of his bass player J.W. Brown. The marriage, which lasts 14 years, nearly destroys Lewis's career overnight. If that wasn't enough, his divorce from Jane Mitchum isn't even finalized before the ceremony, forcing him to remarry Myra in 1958. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The paperback is still on sale for a few days more. Check it out from Amazon. The final show of The Doors with Jim Morrison. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 12th, 1970. That's 55 years ago today. Whew. The Doors play what would be their final live show with Jim Morrison at the Warehouse in New Orleans. Bloated, bearded, and increasingly unhinged, Morrison stumbles through the set, eventually collapsing. His bandmates, fed up with his antics, walk off stage in frustration. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. It's still on sale for the next 2 days in Amazon. Check the paperback out. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. First time on TV. Hey there, rock and roll folks. 13th of December, 1966. The Jimi Hendrix Experience makes their electrifying TV debut on the UK's Ready Steady Go. Performing Hey Joe, Jimmy, Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell leave viewers stunned, marking the beginning of Hendrix's meteoric rise. Within months, he goes from an unknown American guitarist to a British sensation, ready to redefine rock music forever. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Still minus 30% on sale on Amazon. The paperback. Check it out. Research said that rock and roll is the favorite. Hey there, rock folks. December 14th, 1959. A study from the Ohio State University Research Center confirms what parents everywhere feared. Rock and roll is the overwhelming favorite among teenagers aged 14 to 18. Meanwhile, those over 18, likely clutching their Frank Sinatra records, deem it their least favorite genre. The generation gap never looked wider. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Today is the last day of the sale. The paperback is minus 30% in Amazon. Check it out. Elvis has left the building for the first time. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 15th, 1956, which would be 70 years next year this day. Elvis Presley makes his 50th and final appearance on the Louisiana Haywire radio show. As hysterical fans scream for more, promoter Horace Logan delivers a phrase that would go down in pop culture history. Elvis has left the building. Logan's goal was simply to calm the crowd, but the line soon becomes legendary, forever associated with the King's mystique. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Mick Taylor leaves the Rolling Stones. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 16th, 1974. Mick Taylor drops a bombshell on the Rolling Stones, announcing his departure after 5 years with the band. A former member of John Mayall's Blues Breakers, Taylor had joined the Stones in 1969, replacing Brian Jones, and made his spectacular debut in front of 250,000 people at Hyde Park. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The Simpsons premiere, and what does it have to do with rock and roll? Hey there, rock and roll folks. 17th of December, 1986. The Simpsons premiere on Fox with Simpsons roasting on an open fire. Nobody knows it yet, but this irreverent cartoon family is about to reshape television forever. Soon, big-name musicians start making guest appearances, including Sting, Red Hot Chili Peppers, U2, and the Rolling Stones. By season 3, Aerosmith drops in, kicking off a long-running tradition of rock royalty, joining the residents of Springfield. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac, or eat my shorts. Alice Cooper opens a restaurant. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 18th, 1998. Alice Cooper celebrates the grand opening of his Phoenix-based restaurant, Cooperstown, by reuniting with original bandmates Michael Bruce and Neil Smith for a special performance. It's the first time in 24 years that the trio takes the stage together. The restaurant, a blend of rock and sports memorabilia, runs for nearly 2 decades before closing in 2017. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Duran Duran's Ordinary World leaks ahead of time. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 19th, 1992. Duran Duran's Ordinary World becomes extraordinary when a leak forces an early release. Capitol Records had sent the track to a handful of US radio stations, expecting a minimal airplay. Instead, the song exploded, with DJs receiving hundreds of calls from listeners begging to hear it again. The band rushes the official release, and Ordinary World becomes one of Duran Duran's biggest comeback hits. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. A historic concert and an even bigger album. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 20th, 1971. The Concert for Bangladesh, organized by George Harrison and Ravi Shankar, was held 6 months earlier at Madison Square Garden to raise funds for refugees. The 3-disc live album documenting the event becomes a massive success, winning the Grammy for Album of the Year and featuring Bob Dylan's only live performance during the 1970 1973 period. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Janis Joplin, solo for the first time. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 21st, 1968. Janis Joplin takes the stage as a solo act for the first time in Memphis, performing at an event for the Stax Waltz record label. Sharing the bill with Booker T and the MGs, the powerhouse vocalist proves that she doesn't need Big Brother and the holding company to command an audience. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Did you know this about the Strawberry Fields Forever song? Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 22nd, 1966. One of the greatest feats of studio wizardry takes place as Beatles producer George Martin and engineer Geoff Emerick splice together two wildly different takes of Strawberry Fields Forever. The two versions are in different keys and different tempos, but thanks to some pitch shifting magic, they are seamlessly merged at 59 seconds in, just before John Lennon sings "Going to." The result? A hauntingly surreal classic. Check it out. What was I supposed to say? And check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The Beach Boys debut concert. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 23rd, 1961. The Beach Boys take the stage for the first time, making their live debut during Dick Dale's concert at the Rendezvous Ballroom in Newport Beach, California. They perform 2 songs during intermission, marking the beginning of a legendary career. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The New York Dolls live debut on Christmas Eve. Hey there, rock folks. Christmas Eve? It is indeed Christmas Eve. So, December 24th, 1971. The New York Dolls make their chaotic live debut at a Christmas party for a homeless shelter at the Endicott Hotel in New York City. The raucous energy and raw sound they bring to the small gathering foreshadow the impact they'll have on glam and punk rock in the years to come. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. And in the most parts of Europe, we celebrate Christmas today. So have a happy Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. And to the British and to the people in the United States, we'll see you tomorrow. The Green Day frontman wearing nothing but socks. Hey there, rock and roll folks. And I mean ho ho ho. 25th of December, 1994. Green Day caps off their meteoric rise by playing Madison Square Garden in New York City. A huge leap from the tiny clubs they were performing in just a year earlier. Never one to shy away from a shock value, frontman Billy Joe Armstrong decides to perform wearing nothing but socks and a well misplaced guitar. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. And you, Brits and Aussies and Americans celebrating Christmas today, have yourself a Merry Christmas time, rocking around the Christmas tree. Davy Jones as a junkie on the TV. Hey there, rock and roll folks. I think it's time already. December 27th, 1965. That's 60 years ago today. Davy Jones makes an unexpected career move playing a junkie on the TV medical drama Ben Casey. Just a year later, he lands a very different gig as the clean-cut, tambourine-shaking frontman of the Monkees. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The Beatles released their first single in the US. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 26th, 1963. The Beatles make their first major move in the US, releasing I Wanna Hold Your Hand with I Saw Her Standing There as the B-side. It's their first single issued by Capitol Records, and though American audiences had been slow to catch on Beatlemania, this release changes everything. Within months, the Fab Four are a full-blown stateside sensation. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Elvis and Priscilla Presley drop acid. Hey there, rock and roll folks. December 28th, 1965. That's 60 years ago today. Elvis Presley and Priscilla take LSD for the first and last time at Graceland. Though Elvis was famously opposed to recreational drugs, he experiments with the hallucinogen under the guidance of his spiritual advisor Larry Geller, curious to see if it might unlock a higher plane of consciousness. Spoiler, he's not a fan. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Neil Young and synthesizers don't mix. Hey there, rock and roll fans. December 29th, 1982. Neil Young confounds fans and critics alike by embracing synthesizers and robotic vocals on his 12th album, Trance. His experimental Kraftwerk-inspired sound bewilders Geffen Records, which later sues him for intentionally making albums that won't sell. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. Iron Maiden enters the studio for the first time. Hey there, rock fans. December 30th, 1978. Iron Maiden entered the studio for the first time, recording a demo in Cambridge, England, over New Year's Eve weekend, because frankly, nobody else wanted to book that studio time. The rough yet powerful 4-track demo makes its way to DJs and club owners, helping the band build a rapid UK following that leads to a record deal with EMI the following year. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. The Guinness World Record rock concert with over 3 million people. Hey there, rock fans. December 31st. The year's getting late. 1994. Rod Stewart rings in the new year with a free concert at Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, drawing an estimated 3.5 million people. Fireworks help inflate the numbers, but it's still one of the largest concerts in rock history, earning a Guinness World Record for the biggest free rock show ever staged. Check out more day-to-day stories from the Rock and Roll Almanac. And have a happy new year. We'll see you in 2026.